Dating gamer men. I know that this is a massive adaptive and protective strategy for men to go into a man cave and an avoidance and numb themselves because they are too full. Me as a young boy used to play video games for 8 hours a day because I was highly creative, antisocial, and I like to compete in the gamer world. Adult men can still have a little boy in there that's trapped and just feeling too full. It's not that gamer men have no potential to be present and available partners to you. Some kind of experience as a young boy, or their challenges that are coming up, or their responsibilities in life feel far too overwhelming for them to take the next step on. There's such a condition called alexithymia, is where we dissociate and are not able to label emotionally that experience we're going through. Lots of men find games and stimulation and competition as beautiful avenues to escape their very emotional experience. Stimulation stops them feeling bored, and boredom essentially stops them feeling trapped in that emotional space by just sitting quietly with themselves. Sadly, we do live in a culture full of YouTubers who are promoting very dysregulated lifestyles. I see Mr. Beast doing beautiful things with charity, however, opening up massive chains of burger stores which are not conscious and are not feeding gut biomes that are hopefully evolving, and patterning kids at a very impressionable age with very healthy habits. No, it's stimulation. It's TikTok culture. It's about edits that are highly to your brain. And that very experience is programming boys' brains, who will become men one day, and maybe is your partner right in front of you now, to chase a very dysregulated lifestyle which has been normalized. Now, they might not think a few hours on the PC games or Call of Duty is doing much harm, but to you, this feels like avoidance and inability to find closeness because you yearn for it. Likely, as a recovered gamer myself, they have unmet needs, they have unhealthy boundaries, and they likely resent connection because it steals valuable gaming time away from them. It's also a life of ease because it doesn't require coming out of the comfort zone and putting themselves up for rejection or, again, scrutinization from the woman when they are able to provide in a more vulnerable way and a more human and connective space with you. This will fuck up their sexual charge. They won't feel like that healthy masculine you yearn for. Probably messes up their hormones because all the blue screen time, and again, they're not probably exercising or eating well. And so no wonder you feel like your intimacy is dwindling and you blame the video games for this very cause. But the good news is, they can change. The reality is this is emotional, so we have to meet this with compassion and empathy. So what do you do? I would suggest making offers and bids for him to provide without expectations. Say something like, I love words of affirmation, please surprise me one day. So as much as I'd say stay true to yourself and that very primary love language that you love and deserve, I'd say start in his competence zone, and progressively he'll hopefully meet what you truly need. You can then have a place to really affirm and acknowledge, build confidence, and from there you have the ladder of hierarchy to get you to that need that you truly desire. Now, bidding and offering for your needs to be met is not needy, it's simply closure. We also need not be a tyrant around his behavior and around this habit. So just imagine that boy and that dad who takes out the server plug and throws the Xbox out of the window. It just accomplishes more resentment, more complaints, and more contempt. An equation for more rebellion. So we need to respond to this with loving resolve rather than tyrannical absolution. So you can say something like, when you need the man cave, just let me know. And when you're ready to come out. This acts as the reassurance you need and the closure you need for your nervous system that's probably going to respond with anxiety when he's in avoidance, and allows him to take responsibility and have a healthy guilt about how much time he's spending in front of the console. You can also be the example for healthier coping mechanisms and regulation strategies, just like exercise, just like having a healthier diet. It's like going to a water park and having fun and screaming your head off and letting your inner child out. This is your way of coping, and I can guarantee this will have somewhat of an influence on his way of coping, and essentially is creating an unscary and soothing place for connection to commence. It doesn't have to be hot and sweaty tantric yoga to connect. It simply needs to be a real, raw, vulnerable conversation that doesn't expect too much from the get-go. To get ourselves to this place of vulnerability, we have to have a fondness-first approach to who he is. So when he's done something great, see it as an internal trait and something that's stable. So for example, if he's made you a cup of tea one day without thought, see this as his kind heart that's within him, and it's a continuous trait. And if he's late to a date night, instead of attacking his character in an internal trait, like he's always lazy and he's a rubbish husband, instead is about seeing the external and temporary factors for that very behavior. For example, it's something like he didn't get a good night's sleep last night, so that's why he's a bit slow today. He may have been stuck in traffic, and that's not why he's lazy. It's just essentially a circumstance that just happened to be. It's nothing to do with who he is. Meaning there's less shame around his character and less perpetuation of his avoidance and self-alienation. And encourage a cause and effect relationship for healthy habits. Have a positive reward for positive behavior that's coming through. My little boy back in the day was taking step-by-step action to a healthier, more conscious and regulated lifestyle. He didn't have all the answers, he didn't have all the knowledge, but step by step he made it. But to confirm I was on the right path, I needed to see results, and you can be that very result. When he's taking more time out of the man cave and more time with you, you can encourage the benefits that you see within him. Be that expansive mirror reflection to say, hey mate, you being close with me is making you a better guy. But I want to leave you with this disclaimer. When you've continually spoken your needs and they're perpetually unmet, then it's probably time to reconsider. His behavior is changeable and it may not be in his inherent nature. Even after your healthy protest, he still isn't driven to do the inner work or take that responsibility. It may be a fixed mindset that just cannot be changed. Please do comment below if you had any experience dating gamer men and what problems you've seen, and if this video helped you.